So welcome back, everyone. So in the last section of the course, we went through a guided energy reconnection session for you through each of the chakra centers. And you were also guided in doing the layout of a basic chakra reading for yourself. So that's about where we're at. And I just want to finish up now by kind of just giving you a little more information about what you now have in front of you. It's obviously, if you've read with a tarot deck, it's kind of a very involved process, I guess I should say, to figure out, if you don't know how to read a tarot deck, what all of the meanings of all of the cards are and everything. And I'm not going to be going into that depth of information with you right now. If you wanted to go to virtualtarotschool.com, there's a place up on the menu bar there where you can look up every single one of every single deck. Every card in a tarot deck is up there with a little kind of library, so you can look up meanings there if you need it. And of course, you could have also done this reading with any oracle deck of your choosing. So the actual meanings of the cards that you've got in front of you are obviously different from other people who are taking this workshop and have cards in front of them. So there's only so much that, as a teacher in an introductory workshop, without a little more one-on-one time with you, I can go into interpretation with you here in this recording. But the cool thing is that there is so much that we can talk about, even if you're referencing your own oracle deck and looking up meanings there, or you've got your own training or teaching on the tarot and you're looking at meanings from that. Even at that level where you're actually in charge of looking at the cards that you have in front of you and figuring out what those cards could mean, there's a lot that we can talk about here just with the spreads positions themselves and how to read generally. Obviously, a lot of that was quite self-explanatory. Once you actually saw the spread, you realized, oh, well, this is my body energy state before this reading began. Then I go through the reading and I have one card here that represents the issues and circumstances and health of each of my chakra centers in this reading. And, the more you learn, obviously, about each of those different chakra centers, because each center governs a different kind of realm of your existence. So, for instance, a fifth chakra issue could be to do with communication and voice and finding your truth. A fourth center chakra issue is all about the realm of the heart, right? And the emotional life, and so on and so forth. So in the more developed course, we've got a course coming up that is 6 weeks. And this introductory workshop serves as an introduction to that course if you're interested in it. We're going to take each of these chakra centers and really immerse in the work of that chakra center. There will be several different readings, guiding reading experiences, and energy reconnection sessions, and lectures for you, and workbooks for you for each of those centers as you go through the course. So, but just right here, just from knowing what you just learned in this introductory workshop about each of the chakra centers, you know that the card you have chosen for each of those centers corresponds to the realm of that chakra, the interests and issues that that chakra raises and vibrates and works with the human on. And then you've got the after card, which just generally tells you about how your energy body is going to be faring coming out of the reading and moving forward into the next, piece of your life this afternoon or tomorrow or whatever. So you've got a lot to work on right there. A couple of things more generally that I would like to point out about the work of actually doing this reading for yourself. Obviously, to a certain extent, we are all capable of reading for each other and reading for ourselves. And I hope that all of my courses actually empower you to do that more. it's a little different from having someone read for you, in that you kind of have to take the reins for yourself, guiding the reading where it's going, guiding what the healing work should be, the prescriptive part of that reading. You're in charge of basically giving instruction and insight to yourself when you're doing your own reading. And that is an incredibly powerful process, like any kind of meditative or introspective intuitive work can be. So I highly recommend doing that. And obviously, as you progress in doing these readings and you get more and more insightful and accurate, you're going to feel more comfortable doing readings for other people. And what I usually suggest that people do when they're checking out the reading here and they're checking out the cards they got for each chakra center is the first thing that I would really, really pay attention to in the reading is if you're reading with a tarot deck or any oracle deck that has any form of suits or groups of cards, look and see if there are any of those suits or groups of cards that are either conspicuous by their absence, they just didn't show up very much, or there just is an abundance of one suit. Those two issues are going to tell you a lot about what is generally up and what is generally coming to the forefront as very important issues for the energy body. So for instance, in my last chakra reading, I had a lot of wands come up, and that told me wands are the suit of fire in tarot, and that told me that, oh my gosh, I've got a lot of this one set of cards coming up. They're all fire cards, to dealing with the element of fire and creativity and passion. So I knew that overall, my energy body was dealing with a lot of that creative fire sign suit. And I could see exactly where that fire sign suit that seemed to be so important to my energy body was actually having the greatest impact, because obviously the card positions that corresponded to the chakras, they told me, oh, well, this chakra, this chakra, this chakra, and this chakra are all dealing with fire stuff predominantly right now. So if you want to really work through this fire stuff that seems to be up and dominant in the reading, you might want to really focus on those four chakras. Or you might see something else in your reading that catches your attention. Like in the tarot, we have major arcana cards and minor arcana cards, right? So certain cards are given a little more importance in some ways, I guess. I don't really like to say it that way, but importance, for lack of a better word, than other cards. And so, anytime you see a major arcana card come up in a tarot reading like this, you know that that's a big deal. And the position that that card has come up in is somewhat of a big deal also. So you could look and see if any chakra centers have any major cards on them. And maybe you would like to place a little more focus moving forward as you decide how to do a dance with your energy body over the next few weeks, or however you like to look after your energy body. You might want to pay a little more attention to that chakra, because that chakra has a major arcana card issue on it. If you're reading with an oracle deck and you don't have major arcana cards, or you're just not very versed in tarot yet, you can also just pick out any card in the reading that really, really, really strikes you or is drawing your attention in some way. Maybe that's a chakra center that card is sitting on that you want to focus on, that you want to focus on improving. And are there any cards in the reading that are really just ugh to you, and you don't like looking at them, you don't like that they've shown up, they look like bad cards or ugly card or frightening cards or whatever? And, of course, conversely, the chakra centers that those cards are placed on might be ones that you need to kind of take a breath, become a little braver than your average self, and go ahead and look at and do some healing for. And, so you can look for that. You can look for patterns in numbers. If you have cards with numbers on them, patterns of suit, which cards are most striking to you. But the one thing that I have found more often than not is usually the way to go when I'm doing a chakra reading for a client and I'm thinking, okay, where do I want this session to go next? What kind of healing work would now be, or reconnecting work would be beneficial for my client in the rest of this session. Or maybe I'm booking 4 or 5 or 6 sessions with that client, and we're using this reading to develop a focus and a bit of that framework I was talking about in part 1. And the framework can literally give you the prescription, if you will. I use the word prescription in a different way than doctors do. It's like a prescriptive is basically a kind of a to-do list of what you are to do next, right? So if you're working with a client in a healing modality and you do a chakra reading, then the prescription is what to do next with that client. And one of the best ways I've found to come up with that prescription, that formula, that framework for the rest of the session with the client, or for the next several sessions with the client, is to look and see which of the cards in this reading that we have just done is reversed. If you have a reversed card in the reading, that card is basically kind of standing out and saying, please upright me. Please turn me the right way up, right? So a reversed cards in terms of energy body work can often mean that there's a constriction or a little bit of a blockage or something going on in that chakra center, if it's this reading, that needs writing, that needs working on, that needs healing. And the reversed cards are just the perfect indicator of that. They stand out every time. And so because you're doing a prescriptive reading, a choice-centered prescriptive reading where the next thing to do needs to be determined now, those reversed cards are pretty much a surefire indicator that those centers need some work, right? And so then once you've got the centers picked out that are needing the most work, you can obviously go and tell the client a bit about the whole reading and what you've decided and why, and show them and check out their insights on the reading too. And then from there, you can develop a program of healing of your choosing or the client's choosing for those centers that you've picked out. You can learn a lot more about those centers and the issues that you're working with within those centers by learning more about the chakra centers themselves and more about the cards you're working with. And then the other thing that I've just found so incredibly helpful that I've built 6 more weeks into this course teaching this for you guys, is for each chakra center, if you've studied them in depth and you've worked with clients with them in depth, you find that there are typical issues that center around that chakra region enough that it's possible to develop a whole sort of framework of possible healings and reconnections and enhancements for that chakra center. And readings to go with different issues that come up in that chakra center. So, for instance, in the root chakra, we just did a reading with a client on place, on sense of place. And the client needed to move. Was planning a move, not sure which direction to move into, but knowing that a move was coming up in their lives. So we did a reading that is specifically for choice and uncertainty around place, because the sense of place and home and dwelling and city that you live in and all of that stuff, it comes up as a root chakra issue. It comes up as a foundational rooting issue. So that's only one thing that can be going on in the root chakra that relates to a client's everyday life. A big move in their life physically could result in some root chakra issues. So could other stuff like victimization and lack of proper nurturing, lack of proper money flow in their life can bring up root chakra things. All sorts of things like that can be related to the root chakra. So there's a whole workshop coming up. It actually will be the first week of the series here, the Tarot and the Chakras series. And there's a whole workshop there, 2 to 3 hours, that you'll get if you enroll for the whole course, just on root chakra issues, examples of different readings you can do for different parts of the root chakra, different healings that you can do for different root chakra issues, etc., etc. And so we'll spend a whole week looking at the root chakra in the 6-week course coming up. There's a couple of the chakras we're going to try to do a little of in the same week. But for the most part here, each chakra will have about a week's attention, 5 or 6 days of attention in the course for sure. The whole course is a 6-week course, and if you sign up for it here, you get a couple of bonuses, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of find some information here for you on the course. Oh, that was an important slide. So remember, the course coming up, just so you know, is $97. And I wanted to price the course so that if you chose to do chakra reading and healing work with your intuitive work, and you chose to bring that to a client basis, I wanted you to see that the training was really worth something to yourself and your clients right away. Most of the time, if you're doing a 2 or 3 or 4 hour session with a client, a chakra healing session in its entirety, or even just a simple hour reading, just with the chakra reading you've already got in the introductory course here, you could just go off and use that if you wanted to. Most people are going to be giving you about $150 or so for a 2 to 3 hour chakra healing and intuitive work session. Okay, so $97 felt like a very attainable price for practitioners based on that. But I want to show you a little more about what you get here in the course. So I'm going to skip a bunch of those slides and just go straight to the important ones here for you. So week 1. And these aren't going to correspond exactly to 7-day weeks. Like I said, we might spend 5 or 6 days on this in the course. But when you get, so there's a week for each chakra, and I'll just kind of scroll through here and tell you what you get with that body of work in the course. You get a full yoga asana practice recorded for you, streamable and downloadable, so you have the entire recording of that chakra's yoga practice for life, and they'll all be put up in an interface for this course that we're using. The interface is called Udemy. You'll see that when you sign up for it. It's a really great interface. It allows this course to play on all sorts of different mobile devices and laptops and computers and whatnot. Udemy just has one of the most workable formats for students that I've found. It's a really great place to put coursework. So I'm going to be popping up recordings, both video and audio recordings, and PDF downloads and workbooks for you into Udemy's site, and you'll get access to that when you sign up for the 6-week course here. Now, for each unit, for each chakra center, there's going to be about 5 or 6 days, and in that time, you're going to get all sorts of resources for working with your intuition and that chakra center put into the Udemy course site. And those resources are going to include the yoga class for each chakra to reconnect you specifically with each chakra. There are going to be meditations, guided visualizations, sound healing affirmations, mantras, and mudras for each chakra. There will be a lecture on what is going on with that chakra in terms of human depth psychology and archetypal studies and mythic studies that you'll receive. And the energy reconnection work is then going to also just expand out into the space, just like we did in this introductory workshop, where you get to connect fully with that chakra center and do one of several chakra-based readings. And we'll give you several readings for different issues with that chakra. For instance, the one on the screen right now, the throat chakra, there's going to be an intuitive reading we're going to teach you for around issues to do with truth. There's going to be an intuitive reading that we're going to teach you for issues around communication in the throat chakra. There's going to be another reading you can do for issues of integrity, another one for willpower, another one for creativity, another one for the communicator archetypes, and another one for healing the silent child archetype. And there's going to be also an overall throat chakra spread to do to determine which of these issues that you see here are the ones to focus on. So every step of the way, if you want to use this for yourself, for your own personal healing and reconnection to these centers, or you want to use it with clients, you're going to be guided through. You know, when you get to the specific week for the chakra that we're working for in the course, you will have a reading within that you're guided through so that you can figure out exactly what is going on in that chakra center for the person and what can be enlivened, what can be brought to a point of thriving, what needs to be healed, and then you're guided through each of the sessions with the intuitive work and the energy work that will correspond to that. And you're also given resources to really fill out the work with clients. You know, you're given affirmations for each of these issues, you're given mudras for each of these issues. You're very often going to be given herbalism studies advice, or crystal studies advice, or aromatherapy advice, or flower remedies. There are all sorts of complementary holistic therapies that we're also going to teach you a little bit more about in this class so that you can truly bridge the gap between the holistic bodywork arts and energy arts and intuitive arts. In this course, they all come together. So you're going to get 7 weeks, and this can be a very transformative program to put yourself through, or to put yourself through and then learn well enough that you can go and do this work with other people, and you're very welcome to do that at the end of this course as well. So here's just a summary for you of each week what you get. You get the full online video-based training workshop, including all sorts of interesting information on the archetypes and the myth and the story to do with that chakra center, the reconnection sessions I was telling you about, the instruction and example spreads I was telling you about, loads of them for each chakra, the meditation for each chakra, and the special yoga class, which you can choose to do, or if you're not a yogini or yogi, you know, just leave that, or you can gift the download to someone else. You get a printable workbook for each chakra session, and also every week, and this is all in the $97 course, I'm just now explaining a little more about the course for you guys. So in the course also every week, I'm going to be doing some of these readings live for you guys. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how we're going to make that work right now. So if you choose to come on board and enroll in this course this week, you're going to be one of just a handful or two of seed students in this course. Many of you know I like to enroll seed students when I start a new course, and those seed students are going through the course live with me. So they get a few extra benefits because in the course I want to do some example readings, intuitive readings, and what I'm starting to call pranic intuition work. And maybe that pranic intuition title makes a bit more sense to you guys now. I haven't really focused too much on explaining what the new modality that I'm now developing and teaching is called to people, because you know, pranic intuition, it's like, well, what's pranic intuition? And people don't get it at first. But obviously the word pranic, you know, is the Vedic term for body energy systems, prana, pranic, and intuition. So as you can see after going through this introductory course, we're obviously bringing the two together. This is a very pranic form of intuitive work that we're teaching you. So I want to demo some of that by giving pranic intuition readings for each of the chakra centers on the training. And they don't necessarily have to be tarot readings that we're doing. If you're following along at home and you don't want to do tarot, you can use any oracle deck of your choosing. I will probably use several tarot decks, proper tarot decks, in the training myself. But I'll do a really good job of explaining them to you guys if you don't have quite the versing in tarot that you would like. Oh, and also you get, if you sign up for this 6 weeks course, you also get my Tarot for Beginners course, which is a 9-hour video-based workshop training on how to read tarot cards for beginners. That usually retails for $75 on Udemy, and we're giving that to you as a bonus when you sign up for the $97 course here. So you can learn tarot or you can follow along in any way you would like with any oracle deck. And you also have a chance to have your own cards read by me as we go through the course for every chakra. Here's how we're going to make that happen for you. Your homework, if you're signing up for this course for the 6 weeks, is to do the chakra reading, the basic chakra reading that I just guided you through in this introductory workshop. Do one of those for yourself. And then after you sign up, there's going to be a way, and you'll see it when you sign up, for you to connect with me. And what you're going to do when you connect with me is you're going to tell me a little bit about that chakra reading that you've just done for yourself. Tell me a bit about what's going on in your life and what the cards were, if you have any insights into any of that. But definitely point out to me the cards that seemed to lie on significant chakras. Okay, there's probably going to be 3 or 4 of them for most people, 2 or 3 or 1 or 2 if you don't have very many reversals. It's fine either way. If you want to just go with reversals rather than cards that you think are important, that's fine. Just point out to me whatever feels important to you. You know, so it'll be, dear Laura, here's what I got with my chakra reading, and here are the ones that feel like the important chakras for me to work on. And what will happen when you sign up for the 6-week course is I will receive these messages from all of the handful of students that I'm going to do live work with here. The course begins on July 1st, so we've got a sign-up period now from June 17th today through to June 27th when we're going to close enrollment. And the students that sign up for the live course, they're all going to get to submit their initial results from the initial chakra reading to me. And then I'm going to basically take that information and I'm going to respond back to you sometime between now and the end of the sign-up period before the course begins on July 1st. You'll get a response from me. And it will say, hey, I checked out the message you sent for me, and I kind of put you over here on the list with all of our other live students. And based on the chakras you wanted me to maybe read for you live, I've actually got space to do these 3 live readings for you during the course of the 6 weeks. And I'll give you 3 live pranic intuition readings during the course for some of the chakra centers that you had requested help with. And so what that will do for all of us as a student body is when we get to that chakras work and we're teaching the readings for that chakra, just between our own little, family body of seed students, we'll have live students. We'll have students who are enrolled in the course currently, along with you, me, and we will do their readings for them as the examples as we go through the course. So by the end of the course, not only will you have all of this for each week, for each chakra, but you'll have all of those example readings for the readings that we're going to give you as well. And you'll have, ultimately, at the end of the 6-week course, you'll have received 3 pranic intuition readings at some point during the course from me personally for you. So that's how I like to run courses live. It really makes the course the best course it can be for me to structure it in that way, and that's what I want to give to you guys. Remember, when you do the 6-week course today, if you sign up today, you also get access to Tarot for Beginners. So that's yours too. And if you want something to do between now and July 1st when the course starts, you can definitely go through the Tarot for Beginners course if you wanted to learn tarot cards ever. We talked about the free chakra readings for everyone taking the course and the PDF downloads of the workbooks you get through when we're kind of working through that course. And you get free access to download and stream each and every workshop in this course. Now, one more important thing that I want to mention just as we're closing up here with the introductory workshop is if you are worried about your availability to be a live student on an online virtual course between July 1st and August 15th, but this course looks great to you, don't hesitate to sign up, because even if you are going to view this course at your leisure later on and you can't quite keep up and follow along with us perfectly between July 1st and August 15th, this course is It's still yours for life. You can go through it at your point. You may not want to go through it week by week with us, but maybe you've got some time in September. The course will be there for you. You can go through it at your own time and your own pace. So your participation level on this is completely your play. It's completely up to you. I just like to give all of those live benefits to students who are signing up as seed students as well, and that's just something extra that you get for signing up today. The other great things that you get for signing up today, or between June 17th and June 27th, which is the window we're in for sign up. The other cool thing that you get is the recordings of a live companion weekend workshop that I'm holding here in Flagstaff, Arizona at the end of July. And that live weekend workshop retreat for me, I've got a link here on this page for you to check out the retreat if you want to come and do it live with us. But we're going to be recording that retreat. We're going to be recording the audio and the slides that go along with that retreat and some other stuff for you. And we're going to be gifting everyone who signs up for Tarot and the Chakras, Intuition and the Chakras, the $97 6-week course that's online and you can take it from anywhere virtually. You're also, in addition to all of the stuff on this page, you're also now going to be receiving, just so you know, the full recording of that entire weekend retreat coming up. And the weekend retreat is titled Yoga, Intuition, and the Energy Body. And it's here in Flagstaff, and you'll receive the complete recordings to that weekend workshop, just as another bonus gift from me to you if you wanted to sign up today. So I think that's about all I have for you. Oh, on this page, I'm not expecting many people to want to do this right now because I don't have much information up on it, but I'll get more info on the Pranic Intuition Masters Club to you guys next week. The first option, the Tarot and the Chakras Course Package 1 for $97 there on the page, that's probably the one that most of you guys want to sign up for at this point. That's the one I just described to all of you. Just so you know, and this is coming up and I'll get you more information about this in the next couple of weeks, there are going to be 6 other additional new 6-week Pranic Intuition series online courses this year. So the Tarot and the Chakras series is the first 6-week online course that I've put together for you. There's 6 more coming. As I build out and develop Pranic Intuition as a body of work to teach to you guys, the Pranic Intuition Masters Club that I have over there on the right-hand side of the page that you see there, that's going to be a membership that's available to you. And you can sign up for it now if you get the gist and you know that you want in. You know that this is good work and you'd like to do more, and you understand that Tarot and the Chakras is the first of many, many elements that you get to learn if you choose to be a Pranic Intuition student and later practitioner. If you would like to work towards being a full practitioner of Pranic Intuition, I'm developing a master's club for that. And you can stay in the club for up to 2 years. And there's going to be a 1-year completion certification as a Pranic Intuition practitioner and a 2-year completion. And all it takes to get that process started is to sign up for the Pranic Intuition Masters Club. The certification track is included in there, and I'll definitely have a lot more information about that for you very soon. We're putting that all together for you next. And you get all of the courses that are coming, as well as all of the live weekend retreat immersions. You'll get all of the recordings for them coming up as well. And the weekend retreat immersions live with me are at various locations all over the Southwest coming up over the next 2 years. There's going to be about 6 of them each year to correspond essentially with the 6 courses that we're publishing each year. Tarot and the Chakras is the first one. The weekend retreat that is coming up at the end of July is the weekend retreat that correlates to Tarot and the Chakras. So if you wanted to sign up for the Pranic Intuition Masters Club, it's $125 a month. You can cancel whenever you like. You can stay in it for up to 2 years. You can come to all of the live weekend retreats that are coming up in the Southwest that correlate. And of course, you get all of the 6-week courses along with that and some other benefits you can read about there too. So that sales button is live if you want to preemptively take advantage of that and get in now. You're welcome to click on that option. The one I've spent the last introductory workshop 2 hours or so dealing with is the Tarot and the Chakras course package, and that's the $97 option you see there. So I just want to take a moment to introduce you to both. Thank you all so much for hanging out today and going through this introductory workshop for Tarot and the Chakras with me. I hope that it's been helpful. I hope you got a lot out of doing the reading and reconnecting to your chakra system. That's something we all need to be doing a lot more of as we step into this new era for humanity and for the planet. We need to become the most vibrant, energy-filled human beings that we can become. And it is my greatest wish that this course will help us do that. So thank you so much for doing good work as a human today, and sign up for the course if you would like. Sign up is open between now and June 27th. I have an early bird kind of special with all of those bonuses and things there. So if you sign up now during the early bird period, you get all of the benefits you see outlined there, plus the recording of that weekend retreat immersion coming up at the end of July. So I hope to see you on the course. Have a great day. I'll talk to you all again really soon. Bye now.